into the Situation Room as we continue to build
to the plight of these people. Mr. President, there is nowhere.
Election.
We are starving. Tinubu should please do something.
It's opinion makers, business to focus, the situations.
Thank you once again for joining us. Besides how exciting it is to be your mind, the influences of this the Situation Room is understand what your reality is as a citizen of and forth the question and the answers. We our own reality, being the receiver of all of these, sort of have an insight into the legislative arm of the bride at all the marriages over the last couple of weeks. I'm talking about what is going on within the legislative arm of government. I'm talking the National Assembly, both the Senate and the House of Representatives. Navigate their roles. We'll talk about the influence governance, how they influence policy making, and ultimately how they influence the lives of Nigerians on a daily basis. How there's a need for balance, right? And the relationship that they have with the people. Usual practice here on the program, we sort of like to revelation. Over, I think 2 weeks ago, right, we had Senator Kawu Sumaila, who represents Kano South, who admitted to receiving 21 million naira monthly as a running cost for his office. We also had former Senator Shehu Sani, who claimed that senators receive a monthly running cost of about, during his time, 13.5 million naira, in addition to the 750,000 naira as salary. Now, this is a claim that has been faulted by the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission. Now, according to the RMAFC, they say a senator's monthly salary and allowances officially totals about 1,063,860 naira, which is something of a very far cry, if you ask me, from the 21 million naira running cost that was revealed by Senator Sumaila. SERAP also, in addition to the demand of transparency in the emolument received by these lawmakers, called on them to end the alleged practice of the National Assembly fixing its own salaries, its own allowances, also its running cost, in accordance with the Nigerian Constitution and also the international obligations as well, and also asked that they stop paying the running cost into the lawmakers' personal accounts and also refer any misuse or mismanagement of funds to the anti-corruption agencies for investigation and also prosecution when there is admissible evidence. And it's a necessary conversation at this time that SERAP continues to bring to the forefront, especially at a time where the country is grappling with one of its worst episode of economic downturn, and their recommendations of a significant slash in the cost of governance. While Nigerians are outraged with these revelations, and even more so with the justification and the counterclaims by other members of the House and also the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission. Well, today on the program, we intend to critically scrutinize the activities of the legislative arm of government and hopefully ascertain if their efficiency somewhat justifies the alleged jumbo pay that they have been collecting. Well, joining me for the conversation is someone very familiar with the law, and he's a friend of the house, if you ask me. He's a legal practitioner, he's a consultant, a notary public, and a public affairs analyst. His name is Barrister Tunji Abdulhamid. Barrister Tunji, it's a pleasure to talk to you. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. My pleasure to be with you.
Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. So let's get straight into the conversation, Barrister. In a federal system of government, we know that each arm has its own distinct constitutionally defined functions, right? The legislature debates and makes the laws, or at least that is what is expected of them. But unfortunately, we have a National Assembly that is inundated with all manner of distractions, and this consistently causes the Nigerian people to question their efficiency. Barrister, before we can accuse a person of incompetence, right, we must first understand the duties that have been assigned to them. So help us this evening. Let's start by reiterating the core and the primary responsibilities of the National Assembly.
Yeah, basically there are, like you said, we have three arms of government. We have the executive, we have the judiciary, and we have the legislature. The major responsibilities of the National Assembly, due to the House of Assembly, if we are going to talk it that way, are just mainly three. The first major one that is going to almost everybody, the important one, one of the most important ones is the presentation of the people. So these are the three major. You have to do oversight. Oversight means here that check the law, and where the executive is going, not working in line with law, they set him back. That's why you see whenever certain things have to be done, the cost must be added to the national account of ensuring that whatever money they budgeted for are used for the purpose for which is allocated for, and that's why they do oversight function to trace and monitor the activities of the executives. So in other words, they are not the way people see it here. That we see the executive, the president, and the overall of our Lord head of everybody. By our law, the head of the president, the president is the head of the executive, the senior president is the head of the National Assembly, and the NJC, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, usually are equal in terms of ranking in our law. Because they are all head of arms of government. Because the three arms are not subservient to one another. The executive, the judicial, and the judiciary, they are all at the path. Because the executive has the money, people tend to forget their own responsibility and see themselves as the servant of the executive. So, like I said, they have, and where they are not doing, where things are not being done the way it should be done, it is the responsibility of the of the legislature to call the government to order, and that's why I say they have the responsibility of representation. All these why that most times when things are not going well, we call on labor, we call on activists, we call the somebody people that are supposed to call are the members of the National Assembly. That's their job. They are the ones to be speaking on our behalf. They are the ones to be asking for account. It's not labor. When things are not working well, people will say, where is the labor? Where are the labor union? They are not about federal now. If I talk about the state of our assembly. So they are the ones that are supposed to be speaking on our behalf, asking government for account. Or they ask questions of what they are doing that is not in line with the law, or what they are doing they are not supposed to, or what the people need. They are supposed to be doing that. But most times, all of us, we don't even understand that the of the National Assembly that we elected. We donated our responsibility to them. We donated our mandate to them. Go and represent us. Law, hold government to account. 360 of them are the house of the 109 members. Yes. This is what we have at National Assembly.
Barrister Tūnjí, let's talk about this, and I'm really glad that you brought up that distinction. We've had conversations in certain quarters about collapsing ban. Present Senate presidents and even members of the Assembly have vehemently rejected. And what are the consequences that may follow if structure?
You see, why people are the figure, the income, the money being collected by them, and people are looking at it as why are they collecting this kind of money? And rather than people talk about holding them to account to ensure that they don't collect that kind of money, people want a shortcut. They will want a low-hanging fruit of saying, okay, let's reduce them. And then when we reduce them, if one house is collecting this, it will not be too much for us. Whether you like it or not, if you say we are closing the one arm of the government. I'm not for neither against, because I don't believe in Nigeria. I don't believe in that the having two National Assembly is our problem. It is not. Those who created the two National Assembly, the reason why they have the offset of the camera is to ensure proper accountability, proper check. But unfortunately, those there now are not following it up. They are not doing so. If we change to unilateral system of government of National Assembly, we are not following them up. We're not asking questions. We're not recalling people. We are still going to have the same thing. So it's not about collapsing of the two houses. It's about ensuring that they do what they're supposed to do and they act in line with law. It's usually whereby they are giving themselves the salaries and allowances that they don't deserve, or that is not even recognized by law. And we are not saying anything. We're not doing anything. Then even if you have one, they will still do the same thing. Rather than give the money to now to 4 and something people, it will be shared between 109 or 350 people, and then they will see, can still even enlarge it. They will think they still have more money in that, and then they will still share. So for me, it is not about the nature of the what's it called, whether it's a two bilateral or unilateral that we are operating. Like our problem is that we don't let people who even know their job. Those three responsibilities I told you that time and earlier, Most of the people at National Assembly don't even know. I'm telling you, they don't know their responsibility.
They don't know their jobs.
Yes, they don't know. Most of them don't know. And that's why you see a member of the National Assembly, when you ask questions regarding what the executive is not doing well, you ask you to go and make findings. Go and use your Freedom of Information Act to tell or hold government to account. Even people to hold government to account. They say that. Not the National Assembly tell you go hold government to account, hold them to account, hold the executive to account. Forgetting that it is a responsibility is to do that on our behalf. And they will be asking you to go and ask them questions. Or when you query what they collect, they will tell you, I did not see the permanent secretary. Did you not see what they collect? Did you not see the kind of car they drive? See ministers, see what they drive, see their encourage. And you are saying, you are comparing about National Assembly, where we are this and that. Forgetting that his job is to represent us and ask those people not to do what they are doing and not in line with the law. So, in justifying what they are doing and not right, they don't even know their responsibility. They don't know they are supposed to be the one holding them. When you let people who don't even and then make confirm their opinion about it. Whatever you are faced, you are telling themselves as they are appendage of the executive. They see themselves as subordinate to the executive. They see themselves as second class citizens to the executive. They will see find ourselves in this situation. We have a National Assembly whereby the president will tell you whatever the president brings, I approve. So in other words, you want even query. That is what he said. So you don't have a National Assembly who want to check the executive.
Right.
So if you have that kind of a National Assembly, you will not get results. But what people are worried about bringing them into one or what? If people are concerned about the result or activity of what we are doing, people will not talk about only collapsing the National Assembly into a lateral system of government. The people are just only worried about the amount of money they collect. That is the only concern about the majority of Nigeria.
Right.
They don't care about what they are doing, what they are not doing right. The majority of Nigerians are just concerned about the fact that what's it called? They are not doing. They are collecting bigger salary. That is it. So for me, I am not concerned about whether it's lateral or unilateral. Right. If we do the right thing, both will effort. In fact, having double check the balance is essence. That if those are the slaves that will do the wrong thing, those are the rest. We will respect them. Those are the thinking behind it. Okay. But today they are not using that. They are not doing that. And that's why we're not seeing it. Not in it for
right. Barrister Tūnjí, let's address the elephant in the room, and I'm talking about the running cost of the National Assembly. Last year, for example, 2023, we had reports that indicated the National Assembly increased its budget from the 169 billion naira that was proposed by the former president then. They increased it to about 228.1 billion. That was for the 2023 fiscal year. And then there's Senator Kawu Sumaila, who representing Kano South, who recently admitted to receiving 21 million monthly as running costs for his office. Now, the Senate spokesman and chairman, the Senate Committee on Public Affairs, in an attempt to clarify, said that the running cost is different from salary and personal allowances or emolument of the lawmakers. They are two different things. The money you receive as the running cost of your office and the money you receive as your salary are not the same thing. We also had the Revenue Mobilization Commission, who confirmed that the salary of the members is just a little over 1 million naira monthly. But then again, we have former senators, for example, Senator Ishaku Abo, who says he became poorer as a senator and the monies he received during his time was even insufficient. So what exactly is your position on the running cost of the National Assembly? And do they even have a performance index that justifies the pay that they are receiving? And also the justification as to this contradictory figures that we've been receiving. What exactly is your analysis on all of this?
Let me say we have a country where laws are not being followed. We have a country whereby people in government do things the way they like, in line with their own interest. And that's why you see what we are seeing today. It's not only at National Assembly that this happens. It happens even with the executive. They give themselves money that they don't that is not recognized by the Constitution. Things that are not. You see, what they say running cost. What do you mean by running cost? If you are working in an office, the running cost will be the money you use to do an assignment.
Yes.
So to clear an assignment when you have a specific assignment. And they don't pay you ahead, and they don't pay you monthly for it. Pay ahead of assignment, whether there's an assignment or not to collect this, and that will be your running expenses. You see, we have people who see policies that should be about service as a way of making more money. I want to disagree with Senator Abu that he said become more poorer. Well, please, can you tell us his status before he become a member of National Assembly?
He said he had a business. Said he had a functional business.
What was the asset that he has that time? What was the let him show us his what's it called? What do you call it? His total work before he became a member of National Assembly. And what now that is after he was a member of National Assembly. Let me see. Yes, I understand what they are saying when they talk about the issue of foreign costs, and they mix it up. They mix money they use in serving their personal life together with serving, because they say sometimes they justify by saying this money that they collect, they spend it on people. That's not, we don't ask you to come and to go to National Assembly to collect money and care to us. That's not your job. They say when you go to your constituency, people will come. I need a hospital money. I need school fees. My daughter just want to get married. My dinner. It's all your responsibility. If you are doing that, you are doing it as a personal responsibility. It's not money that should be budgeted for you for through National Assembly to do. Even those of us who are not in government, we do that. We pay school fees for people who we don't know. We pay people bill. We pay this and that. So if you are not doing that, you are not expecting, because you are a member of National Assembly, there must be money that will be given to you to execute that, so that you will be able to win the next election. Because that's what they say. If you tell them, if you don't give them, they will not stop for you again. So they are telling us that the money they call on expenses is the money that they are using to sustain their big return to the National Assembly. In other words, to promote their life. Because if anybody is coming to you to say, give me money, I have to tell him, Nata, if 1 million naira, I don't have the money. If you have done the right thing by ensuring that we have quality health centers, that we have quality education that is not expensive, that people that don't have money can go to without stress. If you have put a pressure on the executive to ensure that all the hospitals are upgraded, to ensure that all the schools are up and running, and that the cost of attending to those hospitals are not high, then you will not have nobody there won't be any cost for anybody to call you and say, give me money, I want to go to the hospital. Give me money, I want to pay school fees. Because everything has been done. You force the executive on their behalf, and it's already provided. Then you prefer to just be sharing that money to them, 1,000 naira, 2,000 naira, 5,000 naira. So you collect 21 million naira, and you come to your constituency after a month. You share 2 million naira, and you go back, and you say you have spent money, and that's what they call what's it called? What they call it now again? Running cost. Running cost would be money that will be used to go and do official assignment. Do they do official assignment, that kind of official assignment every month? Even when they are along the day that they said this money have been paid. It's not as if they say this money I collect 1 million today. Next will be 20 million because of new assignment. So summarily, this running cost is not known to our law, and it's not approved by the authority who is supposed to approve their allowances and what's it called salary. Revenue mobilization what's it called? Allocation Commission who pays their salary, because they are the one that pays any political officer's salary. So what is being paid by those people is what they are supposed to pay. So if you have an assignment, that should be based on the money that will be given to you. It should be based on the assignment you want to do, and it will be you do a voucher or a memo to that effect to explain what you want to do with it, and then it will be released to you. It's not supposed to be given to you monthly directly as a senator or as a member of House of Reps. It's not in line with our law. And it's not, like I said, it's not only at the National Assembly. Even the executive, like for example now, the governors, they collect what they call security votes. This security vote is not known to our law. Some of them collect as high as 1 billion naira monthly, 500 million naira monthly. Security votes is not known under our law. Some of them, there's also another money that will pay to our pay. So there are a lot of illegality in this our look at other people and then criticize them too. There's something like I said earlier on, you ask them question as to why they are not doing it.
Mr. Tunji, thank you so very much. If you're just joining the conversation, welcome. We have gone a little deep into the dialogue, but it's okay. You still have time to catch on. The conversation is around curation and implementation of the law, something of an appraisal of the legislative arm of government in Nigeria. Barrister Tunji here is our guest. Barrister Tunji Abdulhamid is a legal practitioner. He's a consultant, a notary public, and a public affairs analyst. And we're trying to understand what goes on within the National Assembly, both at the Senate and the House of Rep level. These units of government, how functional are they? Do they have a performance index that justifies the monies that they collect on a monthly basis? Salary, emoluments, running costs, whatever terminology they're choosing to put on these monies that they collect. Well, SERAP actually drew our attention to this. SERAP is asking questions. Why do you get so much money, especially when you don't have a performance that justifies in any way the money that you're collecting? And this has opened the door to many other conversation. Well, join us live on Facebook and on YouTube, where we're streaming the program live. Facebook.com/mainland 98.3 FM. On YouTube is at mainland 98.3 FM. We're also on Radio Garden. So if you're in transit, as long as you have access to the internet, you can listen to us. Just go on to Radio Garden, either the website or the application. Search mainland 98.3 FM and you're connecting straight with us in the studio. Sage Babalola is my name, and we're still talking about the National Assembly. Now, moving forward with conversation, Barrister Tunji, there is a recurrent terminology, right, that has remained, especially when a number of people are referring to the National Assembly. Is one you're very familiar with. They call them the rubber stamp. This is a tag that has sort of like been born out of the kind of relationship that the legislative and the executive arm of government share. Now, ideally, right, of course, there should be a relationship between both arms. I mean, they are complementary units. But then again, we see a case of those who allegedly pay the piper dictating the tunes. And there's a lot of lobbying and politicking in the determination of who becomes the Senate president, for example. Now, recently, Senator Abdul-Ningi was suspended for raising concerns about the National Assembly for really scrutinizing the bills before they are passed. He says the National Assembly keeps assenting to almost every and any bill that is brought before them, especially if it has to do with the interest of the center. Barrister, how do we properly situate the relationship that should exist between the legislative arm of government and the executive arm of government? And most importantly, how do we ensure that the members are not choosing politics over their own responsibility? Hello? Hello?
The kind of leadership we need to have between the National Assembly and the executive is that one that should be cordial and should be in the interest of the nation. When we say there should be a cordial leadership, that does not mean the National Assembly should see themselves as an appendage of the executive. That does not mean they should just say because the president is from my party, anything he does will follow. It should not be a thing of leadership of a party affair or family affair of a kind in terms of doing your job. They need to differentiate between being what's it called, friendly and cordial, and than the issue of being how do I put it? Because this one that we have today now is not an overstamp. They are not even doing anything. You see, and unfortunately too, Nigerians, I don't understand us. Sometimes because we don't understand the rules of National Assembly, some of them don't know that the role of National Assembly is to check the executive. They are not supposed to be that arm of government that will just give giving everything they have to the executive, or see themselves as a very boy to the executive. Because I remember when during the 8th Assembly, when Dr. Bukola Saraki was the leader of the National Assembly, when he was doing the right thing, when he was doing what he's supposed to do as a senator, as a state president, checking all the requests, demands of the president, questioning them, asking questions as to why should I approve this? Give me detail, give me this and that. Nigeria came and say it's a clock on the progress of the president that is not allowing the executive to move, that is the one delaying them. God will have it, and behind every disappointment there are blessings. It was not returned at the second time. So that the one that came now became from the one. He said whatever the president thinks, I will approve. Which means whether it's in our interest or not, it will approve. And this idea of party's interest first, it's not normal. It's a national interest first, not party. Once you enter national assembly, it's no longer about party affair. It's about national affair. So he was approving everything. They borrow money, no question. They will bring request for loan without any details. It will be approved. In fact, some of them will not even bring anything. They will just call a meeting between themselves, do a dinner, and then everything will go. And that's why during the last administration, that's the Aībᴅᴜᴜ administration, we could buy arm without any budget, which is happening today now. We have bought a jet without any budget for it, or no budget for it. So that's what we are, because we have the National Assembly who are seeing themselves as those who should be just fall for whatever the executive need. They see that is the way to progress. They see that cordial relationship. No, cordial relationship does not mean that you are not. If you say you love me and I'm doing the wrong thing, I am not asking questions. You don't love me. If you don't ask questions, say, look, I'm doing something that you don't approve of, or you see that before they even take steps, they have to make request to the president to find out whether or not they should do it or not. It was practically what's it called, imposed on the members because it was supported by the president. So and because of that, he also see it as just doing things without any recourse to the due process. That's what we're not saying. You should fight the president. We're not saying you should. There will be debates. The boss man for that matter. I don't see why let us send a letter to borrow money or request a bill. So the serious bill will be brought to the National Assembly, and within an hour it will be passed. There are processes. There are procedures. In fact, if you go by the process of making law, it's not be that easy to pass bill into law. It's not be a thing of hours or a day to pass into law. But we see that today now. So for me, what they call cordial relationship is no longer, it's not in the interest of the nation. What they are doing is just a party affair. Yes, if they are doing cordial relationship, it's just like if you see the police abroad, they want to arrest you. They'll be too friendly to you, they'll be laughing with you, they'll be doing everything with you. Yes, they will not compromise. That does not mean they are doing their job. But yeah, we are not saying fight the executive, laugh with them, dine with them. But when it comes to do your job without any recourse or without any sentiment. The one we see here today is that we don't, and like I said, I will not blame them because we have people at the National Assembly who even know their job. We don't even know why they are there. Some of them, they even see it as a city cop, and that's why they will tell you we are punishing a senator for saying something at the plenary, a thing that is supposed to have said behind the scene. As if they are not there representing us. But they be doing anything behind the camera for us not to know, which is not a security. It doesn't have any security implication. Things that will affect us. Somebody wants to raise it. You say, why is it? Somebody talk about budget not being followed, and you say, why did he say it openly? Why did he not come to the preliminary act? Why did he not come behind the scene and to raise the issue? That's not the way to go. So for me, we have National Assembly that think being subservient to the executive is the way to go. That is not the way to go. The way to go is to be cordial, to be friendly, but not to be subservient, or not to see yourself as a what's it called, stooge of the executive. And that is the kind of relationship that we see. But the one we have today is like it go beyond the, I don't even know what to call it. That one is at expire. We need to look for another one. That one you call them. What do you call it again?
Rubber stamp. It's not my word. I'm just echoing the words of.
No, I'm saying you. I'm not saying about.
Of course, I'm aware. And that was.
So we need to look for another one to call this one. This one is beyond the rubber stamp. In fact, they are even the stamp themselves. They are not the rubber.
In all of your analysis, one thing you've said consistently, one word that you've echoed consistently is representation. And we have one of the most diverse National Assembly in the country right now, arguably so, right? Because almost all viable political party, they're duly represented in there. I'm talking about the National Assembly, but it's almost like their voices are not as loud as we've expected. Are they overwhelmed by the ruling party, or is this a case of if you cannot beat them, you join them? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's more. It's like that as well. It's like that, and it's not only that reason. You see, when we all of us too, when we talk about people, we talk about political parties, and I've been saying it all this while. People that will say PDP has expired, APC has expired, Labour Party is this and that, Senegal is this and that. You take time to look at people at the APC today. Look at their profile and see whether or not majority of them are not part of the 16 years of PDP. Check 80% of them participated in the regime of PDP. That's 16 years they are talking about that they are condemning. And the second of people will come to you and say PDP destroyed the country and you'll be supporting them. For me, it's not about APC, PDP, or Labour Party. It's about the individual, and that's why we're not checking. And that was why some people who were part of the APC before now, or part of the PDP before now, could just see the advantage, cross packet to a Labour Party, and people begin to see as a thing. And it's because the Labour Party man. Somebody from a Labour Party who has been seen as a bad person, cross packet to APC or PDP. And begin to see him as a bad person, even though he's a good person. This our Lagos man, musician. What is his name again? Banky W. Not election, not because people don't trust him or they don't believe he's good, but because he's a PDP.
Right.
And rather, they don't care whether or not you are good. Once you are not in the party, they believe. So they see you as based on your party that you are. It's not be so. We should be looking at individuals. An individual that is good, that is in PDP or APC, should be given the chance. An individual that is bad, that is Labour Party, that you be people that some people consider the same party in quotes, should not be allowed to use that privilege. For example, now see our former leader at the place, a former PDP man, who is now in Abga or Labour, and is being seen as a saint when he was being voted for. So we need to consider all this. When we are voting for people, we must look at people that we are voting for. Otherwise, we won't get the kind of result that we look. So it's not about being when you have people whose interests are similar. There is no whether you are from this party or that party, you behave the same way. Or a situation whereby you have few people from the party that is recognized as a good party, or for people that are good. In the midst of hundreds of people, there's nothing they can do. National Assembly, the way it works, even in Nigeria, they don't carry the vote. Now they have their say. You can only talk. Sometimes they may not even be allowed to talk because they know where you belong. So if you are not able to express your concern, there's nothing you can do. Once a decision is taken as a majority, and if you feel that National Assembly, they will say it was taken by APC caucus or PDP caucus, or it was taken by a certain number of people, or this and that. They will say you have good intention. Cannot
heavy disconnect between the government and the governed, and this is a fact that has become very, very evident in the content and also in the quality of the bills that are proposed by the National Assembly. We have the most recent one that was in the news, and social media went agog when this became public knowledge. I'm talking about the counter-subversion bill that was proposed at a time where people were actively protesting. In June this year, Barrister, 35 members of the House of Representatives, under the auspices of the reformed-minded legislators, they proposed a bill that was seeking a single term of 6 years for the president and state governors at a time where we're actively struggling to solidify our sense of democracy. Well, thankfully, these bills have been shelved or they're currently being reviewed, whatever the case may be. But then the question I'm driving towards is, how can a person who has no association with the people possibly propose a bill that would better the life of the constituents. I want you to talk to us about the incidents of poor advocacy for the people at the National Assembly, especially those who constitute the House of Representatives. If you do not understand the plight of the people you're supposed to represent, are we not going to continue to see a case where bills that are completely irrelevant to the ordinary person will continue to be proposed and discussed at the National Assembly?
You see, that's what I've been saying all this while. I said the kind of people you let to represent you matters. If somebody who is elected to represent you is unknown to the people, he was not selected by the people. He was imposed on them by those who have the money, or by himself who has the money, or by few people. There's no way he won't do anything. He won't do anything because you are not the one that voted him into power. He bought it from you and you sold it to him. So there's no, if whoever is taking decision, whatever decision is taking, it is as your decision. He doesn't even have to consult you. In any event, I mean, if I ask, I don't know the member of the National Assembly have this thing that whenever a bill is to be passed or any decision is to be taken, we will go to his constituency and seek their opinion before taking decision. Right. The one we see in our country is that most of the people who have in the leadership see their own interest as the interest of everybody. See their interest as the interest of everybody. And that's why you see some parties, they don't even have the executive, the leadership, they don't do meeting. One, two, three people will just come together, speak the same language, and they will say this is the party's interest. And everybody will say that is the party's interest. So, in other words, there is no joint decision. There is no situation whereby this is to be passed, and my representative will come to me and say, what should be my position? He takes decision on your behalf, believing that whatever he does, whatever he thinks is good, is good for you. So he wants to decide for you, and he's deciding for you because he bought his position. That is the point. I won't lie to you. I'm a participant. I know what I'm talking about. Nigerians don't vote because if you don't have money, for you to win election will be difficult. Only 1 out of 10 can get that chance or advantage in Nigeria today. Because what we will see, the buy form alone cannot tackle. So most of the people that we elect today are people who have money and who spend a lot of money to get into the office. When somebody, if you declare, I tell you, if you declare a general today in your area that you want to contest for councillorship or chairman or House of Rep or House of Assembly, the next day you will see the kind of benefit, the number of benefits you will be seeing. I need to buy to pay school fees. I need to buy Gary. I need to buy. You become their ATM. They will believe that as long as you want to contest elections, you must be targeting them for them to vote for you. So somebody has been doing that for 5 years before he was even elected. Some have done that for 8 years. He did it for 4 years, lost that election, another 4 years, lost that election. He was able to now at the 16 or 8 another level, able to get it. What do you think he will do? He wants to recruit his finances. And then he will see himself as look, maybe they collected money from me. Why do I have to see their opinion? I know what they need now. So and that's why National Assembly member will think that what you need is for him to get allowance from the National Assembly to come and share to you. Or if you need money to pay for your school fees, for your children's school fees, if you need the money to go to hospital, that's why he believes that, because that's the kind of thing he sees when he was campaigning. They were not asking questions regarding what he would do. What they were asking him is, how much can you give us? What are you going to buy for us? Take us out. That's what he was saying. So he believes that these are the things they need. So their disconnection, yes. The disconnection was because we, those who got followers, are not interested in people who do the right thing for them. It is in this country that I will hear the electorate will tell me, this man is the best man, but he doesn't have money. You get my point.
I get
you. They will vote for somebody who don't have money because somebody who they will not vote for somebody who they see as a saint or as a good man. But because he doesn't have money, they will rather vote for somebody who has money and who is seen as a bad person. So for me, if you want your representative to respect you and to seek your opinion before taking decision or to have that further alliance with you, you must elect them based on their citizen and profile, not because they have money or because they spend money or because they are backed by one Baba Alaye or Baba Sope. As long as we continue to do that, we won't get, there won't be any they won't feel as they won't hold you any responsibility. Because today, most of them don't even care. Some of them, as soon as they are elected, they go to their constituency maybe once in 3 years in months. And whenever they go, they bring their houses, call one or two stakeholders or 3 or some stakeholders, give them something, and that will be the end. It's set to everybody.
Well, Barrister Tunji, doesn't this speak to the integrity and the ethical conduct of members of the National Assembly? Because you will see members of the House of Reps who will collect funds for constituency projects, and then they will draw gigantic tattoos of themselves on the infrastructure as if it was done out of pocket. You see, donated by one Mr. Janle Koko, as if it was a charity project. I mean, isn't this a call for transparency and accountability even within the legislative structure?
Yeah, because you see that we're saying, because some of us who call ourselves followers don't appreciate them for some of the things that will benefit us. This and that. If you try to build schools, build a maternity hospital, build this and that, they won't recognize you as doing anything. Those are the things we are talking about. And so if you fall for little things, we don't know what they are there for us to do. What members of the academy, their work is to facilitate the development project into the constituency. It's not for them to do it. Because when somebody is going for letter attending out of paper is complaining, people be asking him to do road. They be asking him how many roads will he do. It's not for him to do road, it's for him to facilitate it. How many ways are you going to give us?
That's
how many
government. That's where the local government kind of comes in.
That's what I'm saying. That is not for local government. It's for their own. Is to facilitate it, to ensure to be on the neck of the governor or the neck of the chairman of local government, to be on the neck of this and that, to ensure that those things are done. Then what we expect there is how many balls did you do? How many did you give people? How many okada did you share during the Christmas? Or how many cows? So these are the things we see as achievement, and that's why we see what we see today. We don't people who are electing are people who are discharged even before they became a member of the assembly. They are from the people. I'm telling you, if you let people who are before being elected are closer to the people and they are elected because they don't have money at that time when they are being elected by their people, and they see themselves as being elected by the people. I'm not saying some of them will not become something else. The majority of them will see reason why he must give back to the society.
Right.
There's somebody who is already multi-billionaire and he spent that money to acquire that office, and you want him to respect you. And when he pays millions of naira or billions of naira to get that job done, to get elected, you won't get his respect. And you won't even respect it.
Yes. Because of our time, we have a few minutes before we take the headline news, although we'll definitely come back and round off this conversation. But let's do this before we're due for that break. Now, I did speak about a number of bills over the last couple months that have been shelved or are currently being reviewed as a result of public outcry. And a lot of these bills have been considered inimical to the interest of the people, quite harmful, right? At least that is a testament to the collective power of the people. But I want us to explore this angle. Let's discuss the impact of public opinion on legislative proposals and decision, the ones being made by the National Assembly. Do you think that sometimes attempting to play to the gallery to minimize criticism and public attack can affect the efficiency of the lawmakers? Because sometimes they're trying to pass certain laws, trying to pass certain bills, but then they consider, the people are going to be upset, the people are going to be angry, there'll be a social media frenzy, let's not do it. So do you maybe think, and this is me playing devil's advocate for a minute, do you think that maybe sometimes because of public outcry, we see a minimization in the effectiveness of the lawmakers?
When you don't plan, what are you doing? You are planning to fail. Before a bill is being proposed or is being even tendered before the House, that bill must be as a result of your consultation, must be as a result of research. So in other words, for you to say I'm proposing this bill, you must consult the stakeholders, the people that will be affected by that bill. the people that will, so if they don't consult, that is it, and you see the reason why I was withdrawn by the Speaker of the House of Rep. What was the reason? After due consultation. What does it mean? It shows that before he brought out the bill, there was no consultation. So if there was due consultation, he will not even bring it out at all. So if you fail to plan very well, you are planning to fail. So if you don't subject your bill to scrutiny or serious research before being proposed before the National Assembly, you will be bound to thereafter take one step or the other that people will see as maybe doesn't know what he's doing. So and that's why I said when most of these members of the National Assembly want to bring out any bill, they don't come to their constituency to ask them questions. Or those who that will be affected by the bill to bring them together and say, I am trying to do this to bring out this bill. What do you think? Give us suggestions. These and that. They don't do that. If they do that, some of the bills will not even come out. So some of them will even get more weight in terms of approval from the people because they see the idea behind it. They will just know the idea behind the bill. Sometimes like I said, some of them are just like you said, to play to the gallery, to dance to the tune of certain interest. Law in Nigeria today sometimes are made or amended because of an individual. When you make law, when you targeting individual or group, that law makes sense because you won't think wider. Your thinking will be narrow because you'll be narrowed down to those individuals you are looking at. So if you want to pass a bill and then you say this bill is for the right of Nigeria or the right of certain group, you must look at those groups very well, not just one person from doing capture the entire thing that is required. And that's what we see here. Sometimes they just give that bill at the heat of the movement, the president, or just in the heat of the movement, to do something that the people will see as okay, we are trying to. It's targeted on certain individuals. If you recall when the National Assembly and National Anthem was introduced, new one, certain people said no, we are not going to go to align with it, and some of them did not even stand up when it was written, and so they are looking at, and they now try to look at the law and see whether there is a way to punish those kind of person. They realize that there is no law, so they want to bring law to punish people who will not sing the national anthem because that is their own interest. So what the interest of those at the National Assembly are not the same thing as the interest of those who elect them because they don't consult them before taking decisions.
Well, like I said, we're due for a break in about a minute. But then again, Barrister Tunji, you did mention that some of us can be very greedy. And so when they were brought the opinion, or when our opinion are being asked on some of this bill, most people would rather focus on what they can get out of these individuals than actually reviewing the bill. Most people would show less interest in the content of the bill. All they care about is how much money you can give them. So really, how can you be certain of the kind of opinions you will get out of people that are only looking for the financial benefits that they can get off of you? But I'll get your opinion on that when we come back from this break. We will take the headline news at 5, and then we will take a few commercials. Barrister Tunji will join us again right after the commercial break, and we'll continue the conversation, mostly conclude the conversation on the curation and implementation of the law, looking at the legislative arm of government, the activities, the operations of the National Assembly, and how effective they have been, most especially the monies that they receive for the responsibility that has been put on their shoulders. Do they perform? Do they have a performance index, one that justifies the jumbo pay that they have been getting, and also the thought process behind the laws, the thought process behind the bills that are brought up at the National Assembly? Barrister Tunji Abdulhamid will still be joining us for that conversation when we come back from the break. My name is Sage Babalola. The Situation Room continues right after this commercial break. Don't go anywhere.
Things seem anxious and uncertain. I understand the hardship you face. I wish there were other ways, but there is not. If there were,
in our quest to bring to the table issue-based conversation around nationhood and development. We have made 4 to 5:30 p.m. Monday to Friday the perfect time to welcome you into the Situation Room as we continue to build the narrative about public service and accountability.
Mr. President, this Senate needs to know. Mr. President, this Senate needs to lend its voice to the plight of these people. Mr. President, there is nowhere I can say it except here. This is where I'm elected. If I cannot say these things on this floor, sir, I better resign and leave.
As elections give the citizens the chance to make their political decisions, constant demand for quality leadership from those they voted into office.
Look at us, man. There is nothing. We are starving. Tinubu should please do something.
It's also important to having a Nigeria of everyone's dream. Join WG as it takes to task seasoned analysts, opinion makers, business professionals, and politicians on issues around politics, policies, governance, and leadership. Every Monday to Friday from 4 to 5:30 p.m. on your super dial, Mainland 98.3 FM will welcome you next as we discuss the situations.
Headline News on 98.3 Mainland FM.
Good evening. Headline News on Mainland 98.3 FM. My name is Omobola Sandra. CISLAC warns against silencing Ajaero, calls for transparent investigation. WİKE declares FCT's park and pay scheme illegal. Appeal court overturns Kogi court ruling shielding Yahaya Bello from arraignment. Cross-border movements, low awareness, heighten mpox spread, Africa CDC. On the foreign scene, at least 28 dead after bus carrying Pakistani pilgrims overturned. And in sports, Super Eagles legends to join former Arsenal star in celebrating his retirement. That's the headline news on Mainland FM. Details at 5:30.
You're listening to Mainland 98.3 FM. The sound of Lagos.
Looking for ways to save your data? It starts with your apps. Deleting unused apps helps, but there is more. Most apps have data saver modes. Activate them to control data usage. You can also go to settings to turn off auto updates. Lastly, close unused apps to save data when you ain't using your apps. These changes can make a big difference. For more information, visit your mobile operator's website or consumer.ncc.gov.ng for more helpful tips. Stay connected and enjoy smarter data usage. This message is brought to you by the Association of Telecom Operators and Nigerian Communications Commission.
Chai, my head oh. Ogala Lord, why you dey shake like ceiling fan? My village people don't come again oh. This one with your body hot so, you don't do test? Yes, see result oh. Oga landlord, no be your village people. Na malaria, you need Luta. Luta na better medicine wey dey knack down malaria. Oya see am, take am. Hey, thank you Oga Luta. I don dey kampe. Luta, brand of Artemata and Lumefantrine, is another quality product from Hovid, marketed by Pharmatex Nigeria Limited. If symptoms persist after 3 days, see your doctor.
Everybody say thanks, Luta. Malaria's in big trouble.
Don't you hate it when you're waiting for a song and an ad pops up? Well, we've got you with Flexa Bundle from MTN. You can listen to over 100 million songs ad-free on Apple Music. Yeah, you heard right. Just dial *305*8# and enjoy a whole 1 month of Apple Music and 1 gigabyte of data for just 1,750 naira airtime. Remember, *305*8# to enjoy Flexa Bundle from MTN. And guess what? Flexa Bundle works on both iOS and Android. So, whether you are rocking an iPhone or an Android phone, you are good to go. MTN, what are you doing today?
Chai, my head oh. Ogala Lord, Why you dey shake like ceiling fan? My village people don't come again oh. This one with your body hot so. You don't do test? Yes, see result oh. Oga landlord, no be your village people. Na malaria, you need Luta. Luta na better medicine wey dey knack down malaria. Oya see am, take am. Hey, thank you Oga Luta. I don't dey kampe. Luta, brand of Artemata and Lumefantrine, is another quality product from Hovid, marketed by Pharmatex Nigeria Limited. If symptoms persist after 3 days, see your doctor.
Everybody say thanks, Luta. Malaria's in big trouble.
Don't you hate it when you're waiting for a song and an ad pops up? Well, we've got you with Flexa Bundle from MTN. You can listen to over 100 million songs ad-free on Apple Music. Yeah, you heard right. Just dial *305*8# and enjoy a whole 1 month of Apple Music and 1 gigabyte of data for just 1,750 naira airtime. Remember, *305*8# to enjoy Flexa Bundle from MTN. And guess what? Flexa Bundle works on both iOS and Android. So, whether you are rocking an iPhone or an Android phone, you are good to go. MTN, what are you doing today?
You dey find ways to save your data? You go first start out with your apps. Delete apps wey you no dey use but other things go still dey. Some apps get data saver modes, make you activate them to control the data usage. You fit also go your setting make you off the auto updates them. Then make you also close apps wey you no dey use to save your data when you no dey use your apps. This small change go fit help you save your data well. For more information, make you go your mobile operator website or consumer.ncc.gov.ng for better tips. Make we dey connect and enjoy our data use well. This message dey come from the Association of Licensed Telecom Operators wey join body with the Nigerian Communication Commission.
You're listening to Mainland 98.3 FM. The sound of Lagos.
Things seems anxious and uncertain. I understand the hardship you face. I wish there were other ways, but there is not. If there were,
in our quest to bring to the table issue-based conversation around nationhood and development, we have made 4 to 5:30 p.m. Monday to Friday the perfect time to welcome you into the Situation Room as we continue to build the narrative about public service and accountability.
Mr. President, this Senate needs to know. Mr. President, this Senate needs to lend its voice to the plight of these people. Mr. President, there is nowhere I can say it except here. This is why I'm elected. If I cannot say these things on this floor, sir, I better resign and leave.
As elections give the citizens the chance to make their political decisions, constant demand for quality leadership from those they voted into office.
Look at us, man, there is nothing. We are starving. Tinubu should please do something.
It's also important to having a Nigeria of everyone's dream. Join WG as it takes to task seasoned analysts, opinion makers, business professionals, and politicians on issues around politics, policies, governance, and leadership. Every Monday to Friday from 4 to 5:30 p.m. on your super dial, Mainland 98.3 FM will welcome you in minutes as we discuss the situations.
Welcome back and thank you for joining us on Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. My name is Sage Babalola. This is the Situation Room. We've been having conversations from 4 p.m. up until this very moment. Thankfully, we've had the pleasure of talking to Barrister Tunji Abdulhamid, who is a legal practitioner, a consultant, a notary public, and a public affairs analyst. Together, we've been having a conversation about the curation and implementation of the law and appraisal of the legislative arm of government in Nigeria. We've had quite a number of of conversations. We've analyzed quite a number of factors, talking about or starting with the core functions of the National Assembly. We went on ahead to talk about the contentious debate of the bicameral system of the National Assembly and why there has been a call to unify the National Assembly. We spoke about the cost of operations amid all the many revelations and all the counter revelations that we've reviewed or received earlier that started since last week when certain senators told us the amount that they receive, and then we have the RMEFC saying there's no truth to this claim. There is a difference between the cost of running an office and the salaries and emolument or allowances that a senator is entitled to. We also spoke about transparency within the legislative process, right? And also the kind of relationship that should exist between the legislative arm of government and the executive, and the role that local government plays, especially now that we have senators who execute all of these projects and then tag it like it's a personal project. We also got an insight from Barrister Tunji about the process when it comes to bill review and bill passage. There are processes that must be followed, and sadly we have senators that circumvent the entire process to satisfy the personal desires of one person or a group of person. Well, we're about rounding off the conversation, so we can open the phone lines and hear what you have to say about this conversation. Barrister Tunji, thank you for being on standby. Good evening once again. Hello.
Thank you for having me.
All right. So let's round off this conversation like this, Barrister Tunji. I've been speaking about notions, right, and why these notions have come to play. And there's another notion that I would like us to very briefly analyze. This one has proliferated the mind of the average Nigerian and even certain stakeholders, that the National Assembly has become something of a retirement home for past officials. Those who constitute the Senate are actually former governors or stakeholders in the political landscape who spent decades receiving pensions from the states that they previously governed, and they still receive allowances as lawmakers because unlike the position of president or governor that is capped at 2 terms, you can be a senator for as long as the people continue to vote you to stay in there. Barrister, should we begin to consider something of a tenure expiration for those at the National Assembly? And I know this is a stretch, but then it's our job to analyze all the angles, right? Should we begin to consider a tenure expiration for those at the National Assembly? Or do you think this would leave some sort of systemic disruption if we even consider this?
Yeah, I will not say it will lead to any systemic destruction, but I want to say that all over the world, I think it's been the practice. National Assembly, a member of the lawmakers' tenure are not regulated. You can be there as long as people want you to be there.
Right.
But our own is a problem, and I will be tending to accept that maybe we should put a expiration time because the way Amara it is now. You see, ordinarily, you are supposed to be elected if you have done well and return. But here, let's tell ourselves the truth. People are not elected in Nigeria because they are capable. That is the truth. The majority of the people in Nigeria are not elected. Some of the people that we have as governor today are not qualified to be a local government channel. If you are going through the proper procedure, or if you are going to follow the proper steps, they are not qualified. So people ordinarily in Nigeria, our election process is throwing up people that once you have money and or you don't have money, then you have a backing, quality backing from those who control the affairs of the nation. In other words, those who call ambassadors, those who call godfather, those who call the powerful people in the country, you can get into any elected office in Nigeria. So it is not about your performance. If you have performance, none of these people we talk about will not even spend more than one term at National Assembly before they get returned. But because they impose themselves on ourselves. And some of them even are elected because some of them, once they are in a particular party, that party, as long as that party is loved by the people in coach, as long as that party is in control, they will use that opportunity to be in charge, and they will be continuing, and they will continue to come back. So there's nothing bad in a National Assembly member being there for long as he's performing. But I won't lie to you, most of the people we have today in our National Assembly see the place, they see it as a place just to go and make money and relax. It's not about work. It's just a place to go and relax. And then and that's why you see somebody who has been a governor will go back to the National Assembly and he will not even know that he's there until maybe probably something happens. So there are some former governors that are in that National Assembly today that you will not believe that they are still there because they won't see them contribute and they will not do anything. But as long as they contest in their community, because they have that influence in their community, they will continue to win.
Well,
so in that regard, I'll be tempted to agree that we need to regulate the tenure, because we don't have until we have a proper electoral system that will bring people that are qualified to lead us.
Well, thank you very much, Barrister Tunji Abdulhamid. We appreciate you for your insights. It's now time for us to hear from the listeners. So what do you think about the conversation we've had so far regarding the National Assembly and their effectiveness? What do you think about the operation of the National Assembly? What do you think of the pay that they're getting? Do their effort justify the monies that they receive? Also, the explanation that has been provided by stakeholders in the Senate and also the RMAFC that is in charge of their allocation and, their revenue mobilization. Are you satisfied with the explanation that according to the law, the salary and the allowance of an average senator is just a little over ₦1 million, but then the monies that they get for the running cost of their office is a different ballgame entirely? We've spoken for over an hour. What do you think about the conversations that have been had so far here on the Situation Room? The number to dial is 0913-6000410. We're still streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube with the live chat option available for you to drop your submission. Barrister Tunji Abdulhamid will be with us online, so you can direct questions to him if you have any. Let's take our first phone call. Hello. Okay, do call back if that was you. 0913-6000410. Let's take this one. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening to you, sir.
This is Mr. James calling from Abuja Junction.
Welcome, Mr. James.
Oh, your guest has spoken almost my mind. But the last line of what he said is my capture. Let our electoral, from that electoral law, is one of our major projects. For instance, most of the senators in the House, if you know how much every politician spends during campaigning, during consultation, during edification and all of that, and you expect them to go into office, you'll be paying them the peanut of 500,000 or 1 million. Believe you me, it's just a mirage. It cannot come into fruition. So that is why the electoral law needs to do something to rectify some of these anomalies. If we cannot reform our electoral act to put things right, even to bring the people that have the interest of masses, just like I guess has rightly said, people that will come and say, let me administer good governance to people, let people enjoy. Most of these people representing us, they don't, in fact, they will say to help to what our constituents need. They don't give a damn. All they care for is, let me make sure that our president at the center is well taken care of, so that when we rub his back, and he will rub our back in return, so that whatever bill he push, we will approve of it, and whatever we request, he will agree, he will grant us, and that is exactly what they are doing. And as a result of that, people suffer a lot, and that is the angle that I will comment. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much for calling. We appreciate you for your insight. Hello, good evening. I need you to turn down the volume on your radio. Hello. All right, call back. I told you to turn down the volume, not to go off the phone. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
This is Kenny from Mushin.
All right, welcome, sir. Go ahead. We have Barrister Tunji online.
On the issue of the legislators, what I think Nigeria should do is go by the way of unicameral legislation. That would reduce cost of governance. They're spending a lot. I think they are taking up to about between 5 and 10% of Nigerian budget. They make sure they plan their own monument salary. It's only the salary we know, but the other expenses like bonuses, allowances, can you imagine? And then the allocation commission says they are giving 1 million allowances over 20 million. Are they doing with it? So, until we go by unicameral legislature and we make that place unattractive, we pay them less. So it should not be attractive. That's why they think they can go to any extent to be there. These are primaries, the elections. So that's what I think it should be the best thing for us. Have a lovely day.
And you have a beautiful day yourself. Thank you so much for calling. Hello. Good evening. Hello.
Hello?
Yes. The volume on your radio, so I need you to turn it down, please.
Am I okay now?
Yes.
This is Pastor Badamasi from Surulere.
All right,
Can I continue?
Yes, you may.
Yes. The legislators, they are very important. And we borrowed this system from the United States. They don't segment their tenure in the United States. They are live politicians. In Nigeria, the history of politicians in Nigeria is that most politicians in Nigeria, even beginning from the time of Papa, they were all full-time politicians. I was one of them. I know it's full-time. You have no time for any other work than full politician. In the United States, the legislatures are politicians. The legislators are full-time politicians. Immediately the election is over, they dissolve every party. But those who remain as politicians are the legislators. And we borrowed from the United States, it's flamboyant, money, something. We are just flamboyant, or like the parliamentary system. But what I'm trying to say is that the legislators, they spend money, in and out when they come home or whatever. They spend a lot of money. And they have always been riding on the back of the governors or president. But now they don't ride on the back of because the president now asks them, go and bring votes. And the president will give them money. Governor will say, go and bring votes. I will give you money. That is the problem we are having now. They are not sponsoring their own election. Governors sponsor them, president sponsor them.
Allegedly. All right, let's say that. Thank you so very much for calling. All right, I just would appreciate if we do not know as a matter of fact, or we're not able to immediately provide evidence that supports our claim. Let's just peg the things that we say as allegations. All right, thank you so very much. But this is not to dismiss your point at all, but then let's just say things the right way. Let's pause on phone calls for a bit and take messages that we have on Facebook. Benjamin Issa says, good evening, Sage. To me, the National Assembly members are holding public office, therefore their salary must be in the public domain. Why the secrecy? To say the least, the present National Assembly is not what they're earning, because they have abandoned their oversight function to do executive bidding. One cannot separate this present National Assembly from the executive. They pass whatever the executive brings to them as speedily as if they were expecting the bill. This is why people like us address them as rubber stamp assembly. Benjamin from Shogunle sent that particular message. To Chukwuadele Thompson from Obanikoro says, good evening. It is another wild goose chase. President Tinubu has determined the leadership of the National Assembly and the Lagos House of Assembly. Governors are also controlling their state houses of assembly. Therefore, the checks and balances anticipated by the law and desired by the people are all lost love. We almost got it right under the Bukola Saraki leadership of the Senate, who checked even the wrong appointments of the president, but the people hounded Senator Saraki instead of supporting him. The media should pillory Senator Akpabio and Honorable Abbas Riketi leadership of the National Assembly, but it seems like they've chosen to be quiet. Look, the callers on any topical issues should now be allowed to use any such word they deem fit to describe these people. Perhaps it would help. To Chukwuadele Thompson from Obanikoro, that's not possible. You cannot use any words that you like. Even as a broadcaster, I'm not allowed to use any word that I like. I still have to be very circumspect in my choice of words, and I believe that courtesy is extended, or that responsibility is expected of those of you who call in to opine as well. So please, let's be very respectful in our address of these individuals. Thank you. Let's take about 2-3 more calls before we leave the studio. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, good evening.
Thank you, my dear. My name is Prince Wise, calling you from Aməwɔdɔfrɛ.
Welcome, Prince Wise.
The National Assembly we are talking about, in this country, number one, the senator put his enemy, that support his enemy, with the Senate president, what is better? Because we need to know that.
Prince Wise, there's a disruption. We can barely hear you. There's like a feedback. Turn down the volume on your radio, please.
My father's running. Are you okay now?
Yes, yes.
Can I go ahead?
Yes, go ahead, sir.
You see, as it is now, the National Assembly, the money their salary get, or the allowances they are getting is what we don't know, and we have to know.
Prince Wise, go ahead. Oh, we apologize. I'm sorry. I think you have a bad connection. Do call back if you can before the end of the program. Hello. Hello, you're live. All right, then. Let's take another phone call. Hello, good evening. Please turn down the volume on your radio when you call. Please turn down the volume on your radio. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Yeah, Kenny from Sᴜľᴜ.
Welcome.
Yeah, my sister, you see, when I listen to former Senator Abu, I was just listening to him. He said they are paying children school fees. They are paying people that delivered. Are you the one that impregnated them? Why are you paying for their delivery fee? And why are you paying hospital bills? Is it your responsibility? Because these people, they have left their job of making laws. They are not taking up executive actions. How can a senator say I will build primary school, I will build hospital? That is not your job. That is why they are having a humongous running cost. Where are they running to? They are having running costs for what? Who appropriated that thing? Who appropriated that amount of money for them? They should take their salary and make law and go. That is why we have been clamoring. And let this job be a part-time job. Some people have taken it as their birthright. Some people have been there since 1999. Some people have taken a position in that National Assembly that they will not leave. You understand? I don't know, but I know one day, all these people, their time will go. They will leave that place. If they refuse to go, their time. Look at what happened to some of them in 2023 election. They did not come back. And that is what will happen to some of them again. You understand? Look at what is happening in National Assembly. Some of them, their wives are judges. Their wives are judges.
Thank you.
When they lose the election, they run to appeal court. They run to this. Their wives are there.
Thank you. Thank you so much for calling. Have a beautiful day. Well, that's as much contribution as we can take for this evening. We are out of time. Barrister Tūnjí, very briefly in a minute, if you can, final words so we wrap up the conversation.
Yeah, I think while we blame the political gladiators, we need to also blame ourselves. We need to be responsible as well as a citizen. We need to ensure that people will participate in the system. We can't leave policies for people who call politicians. We all should be politicians. It's not anyone that's contesting for anything that's called politician. When you are concerned about the affairs of your state, that you are a politician, you must be concerned. We need to play our role of being a concerned citizen. So, and if you are concerned and we participate fully in the system, this imposition that we talk about sometimes may not even happen. But because we allow them to do that, and they're happy that you people are abandoning it, leaving it for people who call wicked people who call bad people. We expect people that are bad to come and fix your system. It's not possible. So we need to put our eyes into it. We need to be concerned about our system, about governance. When we are concerned, we'll be able to hold people to account. That's our responsibility. The responsibility of citizens is to hold government to account. We need to do that. We need to be informed. When we let people, we need to follow them up. That's our responsibility. Good evening. Good
evening, Barrister Tūnjí. You have a beautiful day. Thank you so very much for your insight, and we look forward to talking to you soon enough.
Thank you for having me back. Privilege to be with you.
Yes. All right. Well, that's it for today. It's been a very, very interesting and educative conversation. Barrister Tunji, legal practitioner, consultant, notary, public and public affairs analyst, joined us since 4 p.m. as we spoke about the National Assembly, more the legislative arm of government and all of their operations. My name is Sage Babalola. Thank you so much for joining us on Facebook, also the phone lines, and those of you who sent messages. We appreciate and acknowledge your interest in the conversations that we have on radio as we constantly, collectively try to see to the matter of nation building. Until tomorrow, same time, 4 p.m. to 5:30 p.m., the Situation Room on Mainland 98.3 FM. Please stay with us.